Kristen and Elisa, please come and queue up at the podium. And while you're doing your, finding your PowerPoint presentation, I'm going to introduce you. So, next finalists, Kristen Cowder and Elisa Ray, with their business of Whiskers Veterinary Care. And a little bit about Kristen. She has been passionate about animal welfare since she was a little girl, and even told her parents when she was 4 that she wanted to be a veterinarian. Guess what she's doing now? She is studying applied biological sciences with a track in veterinary medicine. Kristen and Elisa make a fantastic team that I hope will continue to do great things. A little bit about Elisa. She studies anthropology and religious studies here at GCC. Her passions are skateboarding and reading. And an accomplishment that she's very proud of is receiving her associate's degree last semester. Let's give them a round of applause.
Do we pass the microphone back and forth?
Here, you have to?
Perfect. Can I just start whenever? Hello, I am Melissa Ray. This is the face of abandonment. Unfortunately, Jackson was abandoned by his owners. I was lucky enough to have adopted Jackson 2 years ago.
Jackson's previous owner could not afford veterinary care. He is not the only example. There are 19 million pets living with U.S. families whose income is below the poverty line. I am Kristen Cowder, and at the clinic I worked at, it did not take me long to see the impact veterinary care had on people's financial abilities. A simple routine checkup could cost up to $131. That is the problem. Most families cannot afford basic veterinary care.
The solution, a mobile veterinary clinic. Our nonprofit, Whiskers Veterinary Care, provides no-cost basic veterinary care to low-income families. Our no-cost services can help keep pets and families together. Kristen, tell us, what is basic veterinary care?
Basic veterinary care consists of wellness checks, vaccines, spay-neuters, and dental care. For some of you, this may seem like a simple thing to pay for, but for low-income families, it is an impossible price to pay. More often than not, it only costs clinics their time. So, our clinic, our nonprofit, can provide no-cost care with the right resources.
Our nonprofit markets towards low-income pet owners living in Central Phoenix. For the 320,000 Phoenix residents who live below the poverty line, finding affordable veterinary care seems unreachable. That is why nearly 1 million animals are surrendered each year. Our nonprofit will lower that number through our mobile clinic, which is run by an all-volunteer veterinary staff. These veterinarians will go out into low-income Phoenix neighborhoods to promote our no-cost services.
The impact our mobile clinic will make on our community is far-reaching. It will decrease the number of animals surrendered to shelters, and it will decrease the public health danger of unvaccinated animals. It also motivates people who are low income to adopt.
Because we are a nonprofit, we do not make money in the traditional sense. Our nonprofit relies on donations. These donations can be physical, which would be veterinary supplies donated directly to our clinic. They can be monetary, which can be a one-time donation or a monthly subscription donation. Volunteers, both veterinarians and pet lovers who donate their time to our clinic, it is also considered to be a great donation to our cause.
Through our research, we could not find a competitor. As you can see, there is no clinic that offers no-cost basic veterinary care. Why? Because for many, it seems like an impossible task, but it isn't. We hope to partner with Poverty Pets. Through them, they can offer the free spay-neuters on our behalf. Also, we intend to partner with several veterinary medicine schools. With them, their students require 40-plus hours a week of clinical experience. For them, they can have that experience through our mobile clinic.
Many veterinary schools do partnership with nonprofits and for-profit clinics. The medical students who seek internships through us will be supervised under our volunteer veterinary staff. It is known, a study showed that when established veterinarians collaborate with nonprofits, it can help them show their goodwill throughout the community, which in turn attracts more clients.
Even though our clients are not being charged for our services, that does not mean that nobody is taking on the expenses for them. Our partners and our volunteers are taking on the costs. Our community, through monetary donations, are taking on the costs. All of them doing this for something that they believe in, and that is no family should have to make a choice between their pets or themselves.
Today we are asking for $2,500. This money will be put towards a pop-up clinic in low-income Phoenix neighborhoods to test out our idea. Thank you for your time. And now we will take questions.
Question really on the financial side. Can you explain kind of the startup costs that you would expect to get your clinic or pop-up set up, in the first year?
Yeah, so to test our idea within the first year, we want to test it first. So we plan on recruiting volunteer veterinarians to come to low-income neighborhoods to kind of offer that service to see if people are even interested. A lot of the volunteer veterinarians already have their own supplies, so there's no cost on that side, but to pay for the fuel to get there and to pay for the marketing, we expect to spend between $1,000.
Obviously, there's a need and demand out there. How will you weigh the pros and cons of who you'll service and make that tough decision? Because obviously there won't be enough resources to serve all of those that will be in need. How will you weigh those to figure out who to provide the services to and who you might not be able to?
That's a good question. I think because we're very passionate about helping people, that's a really difficult question. We do know in Central Phoenix there are a lot of people who live below the poverty line. So I think focusing on a specific demographic of people first and seeing if this is even doable would be the best route to go, because we really do want to help a lot of people, but I know that it is very difficult as a nonprofit starting off with a very small amount of people and just volunteers. It would be hard to reach a substantial amount of people.
And to go off of that, Alyssa has come up with a lot of ideas on how low-income families can prove that they are in need for it. I don't know if you
Yeah, so that is a big question too, like how can you know that people are low income? So food stamps, WIC programs, access cards, those three are the biggest. The Arizona Humane Society does discounted care and they use those to basically confirm that people are low income. So as long as we focus on those people in the beginning, I think we can still make an impact as much as possible.
Actually, the question that I'm going to add, you already answered that, and how to identify this pivotal, income level, or low income level. For example, during the first year, you do have a lot of, pets or need help, but unfortunately, you need to turn away because you don't really have a partner to be able to help you. So what would you do, and how do you do it?
I think that is the sad truth of nonprofits. The last thing we want to do is turn people away because we don't have the resources, but within that first year, it is going to be tough to handle the influx. So we aren't expecting to help everybody within the first year because we just won't have the resources. But hopefully, as we make partnerships with veterinary schools and other organizations, we can meet that demand.
First, awesome job, by the way. And I think I love the idea that you could identify with a cause-based brand and get their support, like a Petco or PetSmart or something like that, who's for every dollar, like Tom Shoes, we give $1 to the thing. That's awesome. Also like the fact that you're testing it too. The pop-up's great too, because I think that sort of almost solves the problem of limiting it to where this pop-up is at, that's where it's at, and it goes away after the pop-up's done. So that's actually pretty great. So my question was though, in the initial stage though, how do you build that initial team to kind of go out there with the first group? How do you recruit those people?
So with that, we hope to have volunteers. We would like to post our information on our website and through social media, because we know through the nonprofits that I work for that really makes a big difference, is just communicating your cause. So that is how we hope to recruit people. Hopefully within the first year they're going to like our idea and want to hop on.
Yeah, and going to like universities, like we mentioned, allowing students to have the hours of internship that they need and being able to have it be for a really, really good cause is actually really appealing to people.
Thank you.
Aren't our students amazing? Let's give them another round.